The pandemic has prevented people from vacationing across the world, but what happens if you're trying to get home to another continent? Well, a couple stranded in Texas for more than a year has learned the hard way that it's no easy feat. Shelley Childers has the story.
This is where we stay at. It's easier for Andre because everything's compact and he can hold on to a lot of things, and this is where we've been staying at, and it's okay.
For Melissa Ribnell and her husband Andre, this RV is all they can afford, a free camper in her mother's backyard after blowing through their life savings while stuck in East Texas for more than a year.
I need to get home. I'm slowly dying. And that's,
The urgency growing after Andre suffered a stroke this past December. While in the hospital, doctors also diagnosed him with a disease they believe might be ALS. His health declined quickly. Today, he cannot walk, eat, or bathe on his own. All of this developing as they waited for months to get back to Australia. The couple flew in to visit her mother, who has cancer, December 2019. They were scheduled to leave March 2020, but that flight home was canceled. A month later, Andre's disability assistance was cut off. In a twist of irony, he says the Australian government told him he had been gone for too long.
I paid my taxes in Australia, I voted for these people, and yet they treat me like this.
Unlike most other countries around the world when the pandemic hit, Australia closed its borders to everyone, even its own citizens. When they began allowing people back in, it was with a severely limited weekly cap. Sometimes only 20 to 40 people on a flight, driving ticket prices through the roof to more than $10,000 for each business class ticket, the level of service Andre needs because of his medical conditions. What the Ribnells could barely afford to pay at the beginning of the pandemic is now out of the question. They've registered on a list of nearly 40,000 Australians waiting to get back home. They've compiled paperwork and doctors' letters to prove Andre's case. They've been denied an emergency government loan twice and now silenced. Do you feel like a forgotten citizen?
Oh, indeed. Indeed I do.
And now the fear he may soon lose the ability to travel at all.
God forbid I die here. I don't want to do that because I want to see my son. I want to see my son.
Andre is stuck in a country he only planned to visit with no income or health insurance. Now unable to afford the very plane ticket his doctors are urging him to buy, as his home country appears to ignore his plea for help. Shelley Childers, ABC 13 Eyewitness News.